Hey YouTube, my name is Cameron, and this is my first video, excuse me, that I have done uh, as a just kind of talking, kind of blog kind of thing. You'll have to excuse me, I'm not too good at this kind of thing, so it's a little bit about myself. I am 22 years old. I'm a musician, and I am currently homeless. Don't have a whole lot. This isn't my home. My brother was, my brother and my sister-in-law were gracious enough to let me live with them for a little bit as I get on my feet. And just a series of life events that have led up to this. Oh, pardon me. And so I figured, why not document all this? And as new thoughts come into my mind, I'm going to upload them and kind of continue from here, and going to give you some insight on my life. So basically, as I was always watching my anime, a couple of thoughts started coming into my head, and I figured I'd share them. First off, since I was younger, have always been on a journey of figuring out who or what God is. And that's going to be the topic of this blog tonight. I've never been quite sure. And for my background, I was raised in a really religious home. And if you refer to the movie Carrie, you can kind of get an idea of what kind of religion that I was raised with. So it was very obsessive, very clingy, and very rule-based, and that kind of pushed me away in the first place from that kind of thing. So ever since, I've been kind of figuring things out myself, and I have slowly been having thoughts of what or who God is, and I'm coming to a middle ground that maybe God isn't what we all have thought he was, and what certain religions and certain practices and people will tell you that God is. Just the other day, I was having a conversation with a family member about who he is, and it got into deep theological thoughts of what he is, and it was coming from a very very Christian-based kind of thing. And I think there are elements of that that are true, but at the same time, I think humanity could find such an easier path to God, but in such a different meaning. It's been hitting me that possibly God is something deeper than some entity that you pray to, and that you tell that you've done something wrong, and that you've messed up, and that you're not good enough, and that you need to come and change yourself so you can be loved by this God. And I think it's something much more simple, in the way that perhaps God is the good inside of us, the opening of our minds to put others above ourselves, and in having lost everything for for the most part in my life. Sorry, my cat is attacking me right now. Having lost everything and coming from a place of 0%, it's amazing looking at those around me and seeing that we're all, most of us, in so many ways, just as empty as I am physically right now. And that maybe just church isn't what we think it is, especially in Western culture. Going into a building and standing there and listening to somebody talk for an hour, and sitting there and surrendering yourself. Maybe, just maybe, church is walking up to somebody or sitting next to somebody and telling them that you care and that you genuinely care, not for any gain, not for anything else other than that. You want to hear who they are and what they're going through, simply because they're human and we're all sharing this tiny place in the universe we call Earth, and giving those couple of seconds to show somebody that you care. And if there's a single entity out there, I feel like if he created all of us, or she, if this entity did create all of us, I feel like it would be smart enough to base what is inside of our minds and our hearts more so than sitting and playing some kind of church game and giving to an offering that's going to give another preacher his salary or something like that. And maybe just reaching out to somebody. And and I guess that's my point of tonight's blog, is to myself, I for a long time now have been dealing with suicidal thoughts and painful feelings like that, very intensely as things have gotten increasingly harder. And I'm not saying that for a pity party, but I'm saying maybe we should throw ourselves into caring about others, and maybe that would end up filling us up a little bit more than what we're typically used to. We're so tied to our devices and our messaging and our social media that we're forgetting that what really matters, and that's people, and that's individuals that are just the same as you, going through life, trying to figure things out the best they can. And so yeah, maybe we should take a little bit of time to give out of ourselves. Just a thought. And maybe that could bring us closer to a bit of a deeper understanding of what God is. And a lot of us are so concerned with why we're doing it too. I've talked to a lot of religious people, and in the end, what it comes down to is they're doing it and they're living their life in a certain way because they don't want to face punishment at the end of their life, or they want to receive a reward at the end of their life. And maybe where we are right now is what matters, and maybe this is our heaven if we create it. And maybe there's another spiritual plane we can achieve just by giving ourselves rather than expecting expecting this fantasy that we are so conditioned to believe. So, um, just some random thoughts. Uh, I'll be keeping up to date on everything, and this is simply for me to keep my sanity as I figure things out, and it should be interesting. I've been kind of everywhere so far. I started in Texas, uh, and I've gone to live in Florida for a couple of weeks. That was pretty. Make a lot of stops along the way, and I've been to. Now I'm in back in Texas, in Houston, and it's cool so far. So yeah, if you want to join me on my life journey, uh, I would love to join you, and we'll see where this goes. So it's nice meeting all of you, and yeah, let's keep in touch. Do something for somebody else today.